initiate it and you do the work because you know you signed a contract with God before you came here that you were going to do something. And you'll know you're doing it because you'll feel good, you'll be on point, and you'll know. Like, I know that I'm supposed to be here right now doing what I'm doing, you know? And when everyone's doing that, you'll feel it and you'll know. But to sum up the thing, think about death. It's really not that big a deal. You've done it many times, you'll probably do it many more times. You come and you go. So finish it up and get as far as you can evolutionary and evolve as much as you can spiritually so that you can finish up the real goal of life, which is God looking for itself through you. And when it finds itself, that's enlightenment. There's no more resistance. All is as it is, and it's okay. It's perfect. This world is perfect. I don't need anything to change. Because if you change this world, how am I going to get what I need to evolve spiritually? You're going to take that from me? Please don't. Go to another world and fix that. If you fix this world, God is going to have to come back and make another one just like it so we can all learn what we need to learn. So stop trying to fix the world, just love everybody. It's not that hard. It's weird, when you love everyone, the gangsters and the people that want to hurt you, they don't even show up anymore. Only people like you show up that want to improve their lives. I mean, I hardly ever, well, if I wasn't on YouTube, I would say there's hardly anyone that ever wants to hurt me, you know? There's a lot of people out there that would hurt you, but you have so much love, they just walk around you. They look at you, you stand tall, they're like, you're not weak, you're not victim. They're not going to victimize you, because they're not going to get away with it, because you're standing upright. Because your heart, a lot of people are like this, hunched over the heart, trying to protect it, instead of just letting the love flow through, loving everyone, even the people that hurt you, attack you, beat you, molested you, and raped you. I deal with every kind of person, and I always have that. Every molesting, abuse, child abuse, and they call to talk about raw foods, and we talk about that for like 1 minute. And I say, well, what's really going on? And it's always something else. It's always the abuse. It's always the trauma that's keeping them from being able to, because as you energize with these raw foods, stuff's going to dump. You're going to have to deal with it. I had someone really close to me say, I'm not going to deal with this. I'm going to die this way because it's too painful to deal with this trauma. I don't want to experience it again. So she blocks it out with food, TV, everything, and she's very sick. Fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, diabetes, and she knows that I know what to do. She knows I would come there and help her, but she said, you know, I do not want to deal with this. I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to die this way. But if you do it like that, you're going to come back, and you're going to pick up right where you left off, and you're going to get another chance. So you might as well just go balls to the walls, courage all the way, face your stuff. Because everybody got hurt. Everybody got traumatized. It might be different. For me, I might have been beaten every day by my dad. And you might have been molested by your uncle, you know, or something. We all have something like that. You know what I mean? So I just give everybody the benefit of the doubt. You know, I just lighten up on everybody. It's none of my business. I will help you. I got blessed to find raw foods, but before that, even way before that, I found a book on attitude, and that just shifted me. I began to change the way I thought. Now, of course, it took me a long ass time. That was when I was like 20, but that started me on a path of learning, and I would read nutrition books, and then the raw food came. From that one book, The Essene Gospel of Peace, and then I started reading about raw foods, and through the raw foods, I began to study the spirituality. Through the spirituality, I began to understand the nature of the ego, and once you understand the nature of the ego, man, does life get easier. I'll explain the ego, and then we'll have to do some more questions. The ego is the little protoplasm, the little amoeba, looking outside of itself for food. We have these protoplasmic bodies which have to look outside themselves for external sources of energy. Plants just sit there in the sun, and from the soil and the sun and the rain, they get energy. We're not like that. We have to go searching. So we developed this mechanism in our brain where the duality came in, which is no more Garden of Eden, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. That's where we got split. That's the duality. This is good, this is bad. Although it's all God though. So the ego is like, this is this is food, this is poison. That's how it, it became split like that. So it's not a bad thing, but now we need to learn to merge that back together, and get back into that Garden of Eden state, where it's not good or bad, it's just everything has its time and place, If you were dying in the jungle of starvation, you got lost, and the tribe guy came up to you with a little piece of bird, and you're starving, and you're like, I'm a raw vegan, I can't eat that. That's stupid, right? You eat the meat, and you get back to you eat up, and you let them heal you, and you eat maggots or grubs or weird food, and you get your strength back, and then they walk you out to the local village, and you catch a plane back to your family. You know what I mean? So in that context, meat is very good, because now you're still alive. So there's no good or bad or right or wrong. It all just depends always on the context. And that's where people get confused. We get trapped in the content right here. These are our belief systems, our rock solid, rigid, dualistic belief systems. And a lot of people live right in there. But the more spiritual person lives out here. Okay? And I'll explain context, and then I'll show you. There's a dude over here that killed somebody with a baseball bat. There's a dude over here that killed somebody with a baseball bat. This guy was trying to rob somebody, and this guy walked in and somebody was taking advantage of his wife and his daughter. Okay? So now they're both baseball bat killers, but is the context different? This guy is a hero and this guy is an idiot. See what I'm saying? But some people that in that content, like they're right-wing, whatever, hardcore religious person, they're like, no, they killed with a baseball bat, hang the bastard. And you're like, well, no, but he was trying to protect his wife and kid. No, hang him, he's a baseball bat killer. It's always context. You always have to have that. You have to ask questions and find out, what is the story behind it. One person drunk drives, the other person drunk drives, this person over here is, a 23-year-old college person just wanted to go out and party. This person's whole family just got, dead in a plane wreck. So the officer says, what are you doing out here? And he goes, sorry, my whole family's dead. They just died in a plane wreck 3 days ago. We had to bury them all. I'm alone. And the cop's kind of like, well, let me just give you a ride home. This person's like, hey, fuck you, cop. I can do what I want, It's different, Situational decision making. So you can never make a black and white decision in this world. You have to weigh all the options. It's a higher level of intelligence. Can you dig it? This is the longest life regenerator video ever. Who watches the videos? Who's never seen a video? You've never seen a video? You've never seen a video? A few? Yeah, of me. You're missing out, lady. That's right. But I think that in this context, you should definitely check it out. Are there any questions about raw foods, spirituality?
What is God?
What is God?
What is God? Because I hear this term used so much, and I think most of our concept of God is this patriarchal father figure, and but the term is used so much. Do you have to accept God to?
No, you don't have to use that word. And I understand why that word is not accepted by so many people. God is a dude up there who's really pissed off because you're not good enough, and he is just waiting to burn you up. He's the dude with the white beard with lightning bolts coming out his ass, No, to me, you know what God is? God is the silence, the infinite silence out of which all phenomena arise.
So some might call it the universal mind or
the quantum field. Anything you want. You can talk to a scientist, call it the quantum field. If you talk to me, I say God because I can see that light, that infinite spaciousness. Imagine infinite. Boing! That's forever. No beginning, no end, eternal. You know, no reference points, just infinite, eternal, silent spaciousness forever. Consciousness. It's impossible to describe, but yet something tells you that it's there. So I know because I was raised religious, so a lot of people think that God is just some narcissistic megalomaniac up in the sky who came here 6,000 years ago, formed the earth, took off, and now he's in the easy chair watching the big screen of all of us screw-ups. And he just cannot wait to burn us up into hell for being so bad. You know, but I think
so many people, it's such an abused term. You know, and so many like religious groups are so whacked out that use it, that use God as their crutch.
Yeah. My God is better than your God. Yeah, I get that a lot on YouTube, and there's only one. And then the belief systems, I don't even really have any belief systems. Everything is what it is. The more I let everything be what it is, the happier I am. But I know I get people, Dan, here's the rules. Jesus came 27 years ago. This is what he said. This is what you're supposed to do. This is how the religion is. And that's all. And I'm kind of like, well, did you meet Jesus? And the answer is always, well, no. And I'm saying, well, so how do you know? No, he said that. Well, I read the Bible. Well, you know what I mean? So I don't even like to get into it because, I've studied the history of the Bible, how it became the book that it is. To me, it's not an email from God, but you can become enlightened from the Bible too. All you need is one verse. If you master one verse out of the Bible, like be kind to everyone at all times, without reservation, including yourself. If you just pick that one verse and do that, and spend the rest of this lifetime perfecting that, then you'll become enlightened. Pick one thing and do that. Like for me, it's love. To perfect the love. And that's all I need to work on. The rest of it's just going to happen itself. And I don't need to have a lot of mental constructs about religion and have belief systems. And most people that are religious are trying to get people on their team. My beliefs are right. The rest of you are going to hell. Yeah, I'm right. And you're going to hell. How does it feel that you're going to hell, Dan McDonald, for not believing in the way I believe? Who else believes you? Only me. But I'm the one who's right. Everyone else is going to hell. And you're like, whoa. And you already know that person is in hell already. And I am here in love in heaven. Heaven is here. I was raised a Jehovah's Witness. One day I figured out paradise on earth is now. The new system of things is now. In my own mind. When my mind is renewed and I see it for what it is. Look at the wind in the trees. Do you need to know anything else? Look at the wind blowing through that tree. To me, the wind in the trees is one of my favorite hobbies. I just sit there and it's amazing. Because to me, God is like the wind. Okay? You can't see it, but you know that it's there because everything is moving around. And God is also like the wind in the fact that if you put the wind in a jar, it's no longer the wind. If you put God in a box, it's no longer God. Stop thinking. Start allowing God to be what it is. But your mind, you love to be right. The ego loves to be right. Holier than thou. Those other people are all sinners. Those Indian yogis, they're all going to hell. They don't believe in Jesus. Oh, they believe in Jesus. They know what Jesus was. Jesus was the greatest yogi of all time. See? But they don't see that, So, I like the religious stuff. I don't get into it much. But I studied it a lot. And I came to the point where I don't even care anymore. Because I don't even want to believe my own belief systems because in the infinite light, there is no reference point. There's just totalityness. That's it. It's everything. It's a kaleidoscope of perfection. God doesn't end here. and the bad person begin, it's just it's complete and full. It's impossible to explain. Everything is good. The car, the building, the tree, the wind, the corn, the table, you, me, the breath we share between us, the look in our eyes, it's all God. I use a lot of words because that's my job. But I go back to the motel room, and yesterday I had the best day of my life. After you dropped me off, I went back to the motel room about 8 o'clock at night and just laid there on the bed by myself for like 2 hours before I went to sleep. Just laid there and prayed and felt the goodness of life within me. And it can be hard. When I'm really jacked up from all the riding and stuff, it's hard to mellow out. But I got to mellow out yesterday and really sit there with the space, with the creation, with the energy, whatever you want to call it. I call it God. Lay there with the quantum field and let it heal you by removing the obstructions out of your mind and slow down the thinking, and just find that peace, man. We're all searching for it. And God is the peace. The silent field that I call God is the peace. Peace is the truth. And all the obstructions to that is the illusion that we buy into. So we want to get back to that peace. Just surrender, surrender, surrender. That's why it says, let thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That means, in other words, what you're saying is, yo, God, you got control, bro. I'm good. I'll let you do your thing. I'll just roll. I'll roll on right along with it. Let your will be done. In other words, whatever's happening, I'm okay with. I call it the okayness, right? Because, man, I used to fight all the time, fighting against life. Where's Yahweh? It makes you tired. And if you just let go of the oars and just float, you're chilling. You're all good. Everything will come. The money you need will come. The friends you need will come. Everything. The health, the right information, the right book, the right person. It'll all just come perfectly. But don't forget that you have the power to create through intention. You can create the intention to be as beautiful as you want, or maybe you have no interest in that whatsoever. Does that mean the other person that doesn't take care of themselves is bad or wrong? They're just not into it. They're a chess player. They like to play chess. They're a nerd. You're into beauty and suntan like me and muscles and looking good, and he just wants to play chess. Why don't you go out and get some sun? Mom, I just want to play chess. So his intention is to be the best chess player. Your intention is to be the most beautiful that you can be. And that's your intention. And then that sets your trajectory up, and you're being sucked into your destiny. Everybody thinks we're being propelled by the past. No, you're getting pulled into your future, into your destiny. So you just got to let it take you. You know what I mean? The past isn't even real, and the future's not real either. Right here. It's all good, right? What's the problem? It's all up here. Worry. What about the money? What about this? What about health? What about all these things? What about it? And then you think, and then what? And then what? And then what? And then what? And then you die. And you're like, it's not so bad. So what's the problem? There is no problem. There never was. As you go up to the gallows to get your head cut off, they got you in the handcuffs. Is there a problem now? Well, not really. You're in handcuffs and you're going up the gallows. Okay, so he takes the handcuffs off, puts a bag over your head. Is there a problem? Not really. Okay, so now you put your head over the gallows and they chop your head off. Is there a problem now? Now there's really no problem. There's really never a problem unless you resist what's going on. So the more you can just surrender to what's going on, the happier you'll be. It's all good. We teach what we want to learn. You know that, by the way, right? I watch these videos and I'm listening to myself right now, and I pound in these concepts to myself, and I believe in them, and I practice them, and I surrender, and I get more peace from it. Contemplating the death and losing your story, losing your money. You can't take your money, you can't take your good looks, you can't take your body, you can't take all your success. But you can leave behind love. You can change the life of a child. You can make one person feel better about themselves that day. There's tons of people out there probably that aren't dead now because they found my videos. I've heard that a lot. I was going to kill myself. I found your videos. I started eating raw foods. I'm alive. I'm happy. My wife and I got back together. I'm going back to college. Thanks. I'm like, whoa, dude, really? It's just fruits and vegetables, man. You know, but it's more than that. You know, it's hope. If you have hope, you have everything. You know what I mean? And if you got love, you're here forever. Love is eternal. Love is it's not an emotion, it's a quality, it's a field of energy. If you tap into that, it just heals you. Love heals you. That's why you can go to a certain raw food teacher and he has the same diet prescription as I do, but he's just more into the mechanics and the science of it, the mental, and he's at the level of intellect. I get you fired up right here, baby, and I make you believe. And I transmit this energy into your heart. That's where the power is. Unconditional love heals everything. And even if you don't get well from the disease, some people don't. They still say, you know, thank you. I'm dying from the cancer, and I don't think I know I'm not going to make it, but I forgave everyone. The lady got a hold of me a few weeks ago. Well, her niece said, I wanted to thank you before my mom left. She didn't get over the cancer, but she forgave everyone. Thanks for making your video. She wanted me to write to you and tell you. And she's gone now. You know? But she forgave everyone. And imagine how much better her next lifetime is going to be. So remember, before you leave this place, whatever your last thought is, that's when you'll come right back and pick up. So watch your thoughts. Keep them on love and forgiveness. Keep them on hope. Keep them on self-improvement all the time. Because if you slip, you're like, oh, I'm just going to hate that SOB for today. Tomorrow I'll forgive him. Hating that SOB today could be your last day. You leave hating instead of leave loving. You want to leave here loving. You know? For sure. So it should always be love. For everyone, the person at the grocery store. Appreciation for the guy bagging your groceries. You can change people's lives. I've seen it. They're having a crappy ass day. And I'm like, man, you really do a good job of bagging my groceries. Thanks, for real. No one's ever said that to me in 3 years working here. I used to bag groceries, so I know. You just did a really good job, you know? And that just changes their whole day. It's a little bit of love. It can change a person's life. They were going to go kill themselves that day after they were done. Go get high on drugs and OD or something. But you gave them hope. You never know whose life you're going to change by one kind word. My grandpa saved me. You know, he said, Danny, you can do anything you want to do. There was nobody else like that in my family. He wasn't even my real grandpa. Nobody believed in me. They still don't. My dad's funny. I talked to him a couple weeks ago. He was like, I still can't believe all these people watch you, believe in you. It's, you know, but they're the ones that change your poopy diapers. They're never going to see you. But you guys can see because you don't have any preconceived ideas about it. They can't see that I've grown. I took all the doo-doo and turned it into something good. You know, and now a lot of people's lives have benefited, you know, through my own courage to have changed my own life and now share it for everyone to blast me on YouTube. And it just makes me stronger. So blast away, suckers. Okay, that was inappropriate. Are there any kids here? No. Good. Kept throwing that funny stuff, right? Because if you're all serious, fruits and vegetables will clean your body out. It's very intellectually stimulating to understand. Get your colon clean. You gotta have a little entertainment in there, or they won't watch it. And you gotta get your views, man, because it's your bread and butter, baby. And you have to have the popularity. And what would you do if you weren't popular and well-loved and adored? You'd have to go to the motel room and sit there and be by yourself with God. So, you guys are really sucking it out of me today. Most people are bored by now. You know that, right? Nobody's fidgeting at all. What's going on here? Okay.
All right. First of all, do you wear contacts or glasses?
No.
Have you ever?
No.
Okay. Did you ever notice your eyesight improving after you at all since you've eaten that way?
I've been very fortunate to have perfect eyesight since the beginning, but there are many, many people who have contacted me with improved vision from the raw foods. Yes.
I'm over 43, and you know how your eyesight starts getting bad at that age.
Yeah, it actually improves a lot. And you can totally restore and regenerate the eyes. There's a whole level of regeneration that nobody's getting into. And in the next few months, I'm going